Namaskar. Welcome to Ragamala. It gives me great joy to welcome you all, wherever you are in the world, to our anatomy program that we present annually. Each year, we invite a guru, a master of a genre, an art form, to come and walk us through a performance, a brief history of their art form, how it has come to be the way it is performed today, and how we might enable you to enjoy their concert and that genre in a live performance in the future. So, we had our humble beginnings in a live program that I co presented with Dr. Ramesh Gangoli a few years ago at the School of Music at the University of Washington on Khayal. Then, during the pandemic, we adapted this to an online format where we presented the anatomy of a sitar concert guided by Pandit Nayan Ghosh. And so on and so forth. Here we are, given the number of re-watches, views, and comments on YouTube and Facebook, we know that we are reaching a global audience through this programming. So we've decided to keep this online always in order to serve as a resource to one and all who are interested in Indian music, Hindustani music per se. Today we have the honor of presenting Ustad Wasifuddin Dagar, who will talk us through his lineage and his art form, the Dagarbani Dhrupad. We will welcome your questions and comments both on Facebook and YouTube throughout the program. We will collate your questions and your thoughts and have a moderated Q&A at the end of the session where we will be joined with uh, Ustadji in the studio. So first, let's make a small detour to the Ragmala studio for the anatomy program itself. Thank you.
Namaskar. I'll be talking about Dhrupad and we'll be talking about its fundamental principles and also how to appreciate Dhrupad. So, of course, we all know that this is the oldest form of Indian classical music, one of the oldest in the world. And as I was talking about the fundamental principles, there are 10 fundamental principles. Altogether, there are 52 principles what we follow. Thing is that Dhruv is the combination of Dhrupad is a combination of two words. Dhruv, like the polar star, it has its fixed position. Like other stars, they move, but Dhruv has its fixed position, so it is used for to measure things, measure the stars from one to another and all. So it has its fixed position. Dhruv and Pad. Pad is the text of the poetry. This Dhrupad always have the text in a spiritual or always in the praise of God and goddesses. The Pad is always in the praise of God and goddesses, and or to some saints also. Some compositions are dedicated to some saints also. So if I go for Dhrupad for 10 fundamental principles, then it is Akar, Gamak, Lahek, Dagar, Dhuran, Muran, Kampit, Andol, Udak, Spruti. So the recital is divided into two parts. First is Alap and the composition, the Pad. So the alap, which we have a mantra, not just what people are often talking about, the nom tom alap. So we don't do this. We have Om Anantatam. Om. Om is our focal point or the center point, the main. Om Anant. Anant means endless. Tam means darkness. Om Anantatam Taranatarnitvam. As it is spiritual, so the musician is praying to Almighty, O God, I am in endless darkness. Taranatarnitvam. You please help me to get rid of this darkness. Hari Om Narayan. Ananta Hari Om Narayan. So we take the syllables of that, keeping in mind the main Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. So I come back to the fundamental principles like Akar, Gahmak, Lehek, Dagar, Dhuran, Muran, Kampeta, and those. So Indian music is, because this is a different tone behind the same note. The universal tones are, we all know about C, C sharp, D, D sharp, F, F sharp, E, G, G sharp, then A sharp, B. So these are A, B, C, D, E, F. So there are 7 notes. So we say that this is 7 seen and 7 unseen notes. What makes the Indian music different from the rest of the music? Because we always, whenever we go in on the higher notes, also there is a connectivity with the lower note, and of course there is usage for the singing. There is usage of E and T, means I call it entire. Of course, means how we pronounce the word, and how we sing, how we take the help of nasals, right nostril, left nostril, both the nostrils, how we take use of that, and usage of the palates, and the 7 scene, the note what you see in front, the equal amount of note which works behind. It's like sa sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. So whereas when we do sing in our style, so of course Dhrupad is the older form. Khayal has come after that, and Thumri has come even after that. Tappa. So they have extracted some of the principles, and then they have formed their own different principles from the main principles. So like sa, so you can hear sa ni re ga ga. The note is coming from the lower note with the help of ga. even for any note. Sa, 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 ni, re, ga, ni, re, ga, sa, ma, ga, re, ga, re, ni, re, sa, ma, 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 ma. So you can see from how many sides I'm throwing the light into this musical position, the musical note. Ma, 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 ga, ga, re, ni, re, da, sa. So you can think that musical note is like a prism, and from where do you throw the light and how many colors it can create out of that. So we can take it in those different direction wherever we feel like improvising. Musical archetype is with us. Musical archetype is the rag, musical structure in ascending and descending order. The Indian music works more on the octave, and so we have a structure in many different rags. We have many rags, and if we go in the combinations, we can create more than 300,000 combinations of rags. But rag should have its own character, because rag is not just a mere structure of music in ascending and descending order. Rag has its own mood, rag has its own character, like a human being, like an individual personality. So rag has some liking, some disliking. So the most favorite note, what we like most, we do it more often. There are some things what we do it sometimes. There is less favorite note also. The thing what we like to do most, we try to do it in many different ways, because it becomes monotonous for anyone to do the same thing again and again. So it's, of course, we always get inspiration from the musical note. We are not talking, we are not conversing. Music is a communication. We are not conversing, we are not communicating a dead structure. We are communicating with the individual personality, which is also giving us the replies, which is also giving us the inspiration. And this is how we elaborate the rag. So the actual size of a rag, if I can say, is it finishes in 5 seconds or 6 seconds. Ni re ga ma de ni sa, sa ni da ba ma ga re sa. So it's not even 5 seconds if you go in that. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa, sa ni da ba ma ga re sa. Sa ga ma pa ni sa ni ba ma ga sa. So these are different rag. First was Yaman, what I'm concentrating most this today, and then it was Bhairav. Then I gave the glimpse of Saga Bihag. So these are the different structure of different rag, and that I will talk later about it. So we are not communicating with the dead structure. We get the response from the rag, which inspire us to go more and more. So the actual size of a rag can finish in few seconds, but we can, with our knowledge or with our inspiration, can sing many for many minutes, for many hours, we can keep on singing the same rag and we get the inspiration. And because we cannot say at what part of the body is not important. In our body, each and every part is very important. So we give, in Dhrupad, we give importance to each and every part of the rag, each and every note of the rag. And we go gradually and touch the different note and we elaborate. We stay in one note. Sometimes we are not in a mood to stay on re or ga. So you can stay much more on ma or pa. And then we can and go and elaborate the rag in many different ways. So I come to fundamental principles. The fundamental principle is akar with the sound of a. Ah, 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 Then akar also has ikarang, re, re, then it has also oo sound, no, 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 akarang, ukarang, ikarang, re, re. So for alap, you can say these are the vowels, the stretchable. So we can stretch these re, e, u, a. Then the fourth one is sakarang. Sakarang, when we sing with the name of the notes, with the notes. Ni re ga, ga re ga, ni re ga re ga re, ni da ni re sa, no. So the ikarang, ukarang, sakarang, akarang. So these are the four of this akar sections. Akar, gamak. Gamak is, there are 15 varieties of gamaks. And some of the gamaks, it is produced, because gamaks are also used in other forms, even in Carnatic music also. They use gamaks, and even khayal, they have gamaks. In Dhrupad, we make these, many people, they feel that this is the only ornamentation in Dhrupad. Otherwise, in other forms, they have more ornamentation, and means how they elaborate with zamzamas and murkis. So we don't have zamzama and murki. So that I'll just go on that. So gamak is produced with the help of chest and diaphragm and the navel. So, like how we so this is gamak. When we produce this, then akar, gamak, lehek. Lehek is just like the tide, how it goes up and down. Akar, Lahek, Dagar. Dagar, you create phrases, you create the path. Rana, Rana, no, no, no. So you are creating your path. Re na re na re na na. Re na na re na. Re na na na. Ta ra ra na re ra na na. Re na re na re na na. So this is Dagar. Dhuran, a jump from more than two notes, or means how met. From lower note to higher note. So this is Dhuran. Muran is from higher note to lower note. So this is a jump. Akar, Dagar, Dhuran, Muran, Kampit. This is Andol. Andol is swing. There is, of course, we do a lot of oscillation of the notes. In every note there is, we do. So this is like swing. And swing doesn't stop abruptly. It takes its own time to stop. So it ends in Kampit. We are not allowed to do this. We are not allowed to do it in Dhrupad. To stop a note, because once you blow the note, blow the swar, you need another note to also stop it. Sometimes the note doesn't stop. You need to put some efforts to stop. Sometimes it just continues and continues. So you have to use a sort of deceptive note to stop that note also. So Akar, Gamak, Lahek, Dagar, Dhuran, Muran, Kampit. Kampit is little shaking of notes. Andol is swing. More than the oscillation, means of course we move around the excess, and oscillation is of course there. Then we have Hudak. Hudak is a powerful sound. These are the what should I say? The jerks, within the gamaks when we are. This is. And Hudak is even powerful than and then Shruti is using the notes, fewer notes in very high speed. So this is Akar Kamak Lehak Dagar Dhuran Muran Kampe Tandur Udat Spruti. So we use mean as sooth also. Mean and sooth is also and sooth is just stretching one note very carefully and taking it and just taking it back to the original spot. So just stretching one note. So this is also being used, but the fundamental principles are the 10, and of course we have other things also, like lag. Then we have the 7 seen and 7 unseen note, what I had also talked about. So very important aspect of music is of course the musical note, and of course the rhythm. You can't do without the rhythm. So for me, I would just say that it is the five P's what we work with. That is pitch. For music, we have to use pitch. Pitch is very essential, and when we talk about music, you cannot do without the sound. Sound is very essential. But if we talk about the music, you can't think of music being done without the rhythm. So pitch, then pulse. So we work on the pulse. The pulse rate changes from moment to moment, from concert to concert, day to day. So this is why every time whenever you sing the same raga, we start with a different pulse, and it sounds little different from whatever we had learned, and this is how we can elaborate it. Pitch, pulse, then pause. Silence is also very essential part of music, because silence is majestic. There is sound in silence. One should hear the sound of silence also. It's very, very important. It gives a proper grip over things. Not only the grips, it gives you the shanti, it gives you the peace. Peace is very important also. Pitch, pulse, pause. So we try to perfect these things. As a musician, we try to do things in a very, very perfect ways. Even the listeners are also going and improving their ways to listen to the minutest detail of the sung composition or the sung ragas of their recording. So they also get into this, to get into what is the actual theme behind all these things. So the listeners are also getting into these beautiful arenas of discovering what the music is all about, and how the musicians are doing, and how the different musicians are also doing for what is their interpretation to the rags. So listeners are also very busy, like the musicians, that what the musicians are trying to create from within the given structure or within the given archetypes, and with whatever their genre are they are working through, they try to create that. The pitch, pulse, pause, perfection. The purity stands away like the thumb, Purity comes, for some people, purity comes before. For some people, purity comes much, much after. So purity stands away like the thumb. So it gives the grip. It is catching. It is holding. It is giving you something. So we have got the reply within our palm. This is musical note. This is pause. This is musical note. This is pause. To have a proper grip over some piece or some composition or some musical phrase or something. So you always open your palm to have proper grip. If you hold things like this, so things slips out. So then the pauses are equally important in music. So the musicians, they create these pauses also. So some people who know about this rag have got to that pancham, what I wanted to sing. And sometimes we don't sing that particular note also. We just bisect or go to some other note, and where half of the people's desires goes for the earth is going to come, and then we just use some other note, not just to, you can just say, just to tease also. Sometimes that we tease some of the audience, that who can, there are some wonderful people, they are almost singing with the artist, or they are almost playing their instrument with the artist, musicians, whoever is playing. So you see them, they are just hitting those notes without, means virtually, that they are also taking part in such ways. So re ra ra re ra na 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 ra na ra na re ra ra na na re no So you can hear that. I think it's audible for some of the people, that they can hear that note what I am not singing, but they can hear. So this is anhadnad. This is the unstruck sound. What comes in your ears, what comes in your thought. So this is about to be this note. So this is anhadnad. Of course, we are talking about struck sound. After hitting something, we get the sound. Of course, this is hitting and an unstruck sound, struck sound and unstruck sound. Re ra ra na 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 re ra na na ra na re no re ra na re the main, there are many, everything is main, whatever I'm talking about, but we sustain the note longer in Dhrupad. I don't say that other forms are not doing, because of course, if they will listen, they will say, of course we are also doing the same thing. Of course, everybody is doing somewhere, somehow, almost the same, but it sounds different. It does sound different, it is different. Re ra ra na ra na re na na ta ra na 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 re no na ta ra na no. Now, the first one was Vilambit, then comes the Madhyale. And Madhyale, then it goes to Drut. What was happening in Lahek? Na, na, re, na, re, na, na, da, re, na, no, re, na, na. So the musician, he goes to each most of the musical note, giving importance to each and every note, and then we go to sa, then re, then ga, then ma, then pa, and spending time on each note, dha, then ni, and then sa, and then we also go to the tar saptang. And more with Dhrupad, it will the in the beginning, of course, after singing the sa, we go to the lower octave. We don't come immediately in the middle octave or take the very important note using the very important phrase of that rag, and then coming and then starting doing the alap. No, we just go, because every note has its fixed frequency, the microtone, and we know that we are taught from our gurus, and then we get hold of these frequencies, and then we from the word go first note or by second note, the rag should be exposed. By the third, it should definitely be seen. Everybody should know that this is this particular rag. With third, maximum 3 notes, we should be able to assess, and we should be able to know, and we should know that this is this rag. But in every archetype, in every individual, so we what is our how people identify us? We are blessed with the same set, ear, nose, throat, and everything. Each one of us have the same amount, except for some challenged people. But we are blessed with full set. We are so similar and yet so different. We are all similar. So the musical notes are sa, ni, re, ga, ma, dha, ni, sa, but this frequencies and I can use the potencies also. Frequencies and potencies are different. So what makes it so different? And it is how we perceive and how we receive and how we share these aspects. So every note we also have this microtones, that I will talk about that later. But then I come to this position. It's this. Will explain about Madhyale. Some people call it jod also, but jod is only for instrument. The singer is not singing a jod. Singer is not singing a jhala. Jhala is absolutely for the string instrument or the instrument. The singer is singing the drut. So like sa na re na na ta ra na re na na re na ri ra no na re na ri ra na na no re na na ta ra na re na no re na na re na na re na no re na na re ra no re na na re no 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 re na re ra no re na na de re na de ta re na re na re na re no 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 na ta na tu na re ra no re na na Re ra 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 na na ra na ra na ra na 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 re na na re ra ra na ra na 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 re na ra na na re ra na na no no ra na na ta na. So there are sentences also. Vakya, what we call Vakya, Sadharan Vak, Kak Vak. Means we have many different sentences also. So when we start a sentence, then we have to close it also. Re ra ra na 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 na. Re ra ra no 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 ra na. Re ra na re ra no ra na na ta na na tu na ta ra na na ra na na ra na na ra na na ra na na. Most of the time we come back to the sa for re ra, our starting commencing note. Re ra 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 na ra na na re ra na na ta ra na re ra nu ra na na ta na tu nu na ta ra na nu ra na na re ra na na nu nu ra na na nu ra na na ra na na re ra na 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 re na nu ra na na re ra 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 na nu 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 ra na na ta ra na ta ra na na ra na na ta ra ra na na re ra nu ra na na da na tu na. Then we go to the tar saptak, the higher re ra ra nu ra na na. This is called tar saptak, the higher sa of the rag. Re ra ra na na ra na na. Most of the work is done in madhya saptak, the middle octave, and mandra saptak is lower octave, middle octave, and higher octave is tar saptak. Higher octave is tar saptak. Ra na re na ra na na ta ra ra na re ra ra na nu ra na na ta ra na ta ra na 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 ra na ra na re ra ra na ra na ra na ra na na ra na ra na na ta ra na ra na re ra no. Then comes Dhrut. Ta ra no ra 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 na 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 re ra ra no ra na na re ra 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 no ra na na ra na ra na 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 re ra ra no. Ta ra ra no ra na ra no ra na na ra na na ra na re ra no ra na na ra ra na ra na na ra ra na na ra na ra no ra na ra na ra na re ra na re no ra na na ra ra no no ta ra ra na ra na ra na ra 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 na no ra no ra no ra no no na na re ra ra na re ra 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 na re ra ra na re no ra na na ra na re ra na no ra na ra no ra no no ra na na re ra no ra na ra na ra na ra na ra na re ra no ra na ra no ra na ra na 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 re ra ra na da na 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 re ra ra no ra na ra na no ra na 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 So we create emotions also through musical notes with different variation. So, words are very important, but feelings are far superior than the word. Tone behind the same words give a different message. You can see the note trebling. Of course, we all have some mood, some nature. So every rag has its own nature and some moods. So we are multifaceted people. हम बहुमुखी हैं, बहुरूपी हैं. We have many faces, and we go through many phases also. So when it has all been created by human beings, so these rags also have many faces, many different aspects. You can't say that this rag has only this mood, this rag only has this mood. Of course, one composition or one text or one poetry is assessed differently by each one of us. Everybody understands the same text in a different way. So it also happens with the rags also. How much first we get the introduction to our rag through our gurus. Through our guru, he or she tells us that this is this rag, this is Yaman, this is its favorite note, this is its less favorite note. When we introduce someone to someone, some person, so we say that, oh, this is this, and he's son of that person, and he's from that place, and that place. This is what is explained about anyone. And then we always, whenever we meet that person, so we go with the same reference of our guru, how our guru had introduced us. But after meeting for 10 or 15 times, then I would like, and that person will also like, that he should remember me because of me, and I should remember him because of him. So this is getting closer to the rag. When we do the practice, of course, we always go through our guru's references, but when we communicate, and we can communicate as long as we can. As much time we spend with that person, we can spend that many hours with that person. So how much we are attached to that particular rag. So we sing that rag for that long. We spend with that rag in many different ways and different hours, and it sounds every time it's a different thing, because we cannot have the same conversation again and again. But of course, we are talking to the same person, so of course we have to use the important notes of that particular rag, and then we elaborate, and we can stop and stay on any different musical note of that rag. So the second, of course, we can elaborate and we can talk about this for much longer. So we have the second part of the performance is with the Pakhawaj. In other forms, it is tabla. Here it is Pakhawaj, and all the genre, whatever genre we are from. So most of their compositions and their pace of the composition goes like the sound of the percussion. The sound of the percussion thoroughly relate to the to the to the particular genre. So when our compositions like Chautal, Dhamar, Yasul, Fakhta, Sadra, all these tals, they have a particular way of sounds. What goes well with Dhrupad. With tabla, some of the wider face, we say face, this first side, with wider face of the tabla, you can have the deeper sound, but you can't have the deeper sound of Pakhawaj, what comes along with this right side. And on the left side we have this flour wheat paste, which is what atta he has stuck. The sound, you can hear this sound of Pakhawaj if you can play. So only in India, I would just say, or South Asian, percussive instruments are being tuned. Otherwise, in the rest of the world, they just tighten it and they play. They tighten their instruments, means all whatever the skin they are playing or whatever they are playing. Even now they have the plastics also they are using. So they just tighten it and they play. But in Indian music, or I will include South Asian music, they are tuning to the pitch of the main instrument they are playing. It is considered as accompanying instrument. Yes, of course, they play wonderful solos also. They have they do. So सुनाइए पंडित जी, Shyam. This is Chautal, then there are other tals. Dhamar, right? And there's Sul Fakhta also. Sul is there. Tevra is also there. So, dha, dha, din, dha, kita, dha, kita, dha, din, dha, dha, din, dha, kita, dha, kita, dha, din. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is Sul Tal. It is played even faster than what we are showing. So then of course there is a composition what goes along with the tal, and composition are always in the praise of God and goddesses, especially with Dhrupad. So and there are ras emotions, different rasas. There are different rasas. What we Shringar ras hai, ya Shringar is beautification hai. Vibhas means there is even for separation. Then there is something when we are not happy. Even when we are vibhasta also means that is anger. How anger we are, and means there are so many things what can be interpreted in a different text. But all the texts are interpreted by the individual also. We do that also. So this is the composition. Adhar lagai ras pyai, बांसुरी बजाई मेरे नाम गाई, हाय जादू क्यों मन में. This is by Ras Khan. Then it is रस प्याए रस So this is our meeting point. So this is sum. 1 is sum. 5 is tali. Leave. 7. 9 tali. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sum. Khali. Tali. Khali. Tali. Tali, Tali. हैदर लगाई बांसुरी बजाई हैदर हैदर लगाई हैदर लगा हैदर प्यार within the given time, how many notes I can sing? Within the given time, how many words with good emphasis and right emotions, how much I can sing within the given time. So that's the given time is this 9, 11, 12. 5. So how many times I am repeating the same word, but the meaning there should be some meaning. Should not break the word unnecessarily. Nadagada navela navela sugara nada nada nadagada navela su gara su gara su gara su nada kada navela suga. So this is in this composition. This is Chautal composition. Then we have other tals also. So other rags also, many rags. So we have so I should sing some other rag also. So in this rag there are two madhyam also. Sa ga ma ba ni sa ni ba ma ga sa ni ba ni sa ga ma ga sa sa ga ma ba ni ba ni sa ni ba ma sa ga ma ba ba ma da ba da ma ba ma ga ma ga ri ra 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 na ra ra na te da ra na ri no na ri no 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 So the notes are not much different, but it starts to sound little differently. Ga ma ba ni sa ni ba ma ga ma ga sa ba ni da ga ma ga Rishabh is there. Most of the time we don't pronounce the note, but we use it in gliding. No, now this is Dhamal. Eri saki mohe kal na barada. Eri saki some 2, 3, 4, 5 clap. So clap. Clap. Some. So there are 14 beats. Politely asking, Sagi mohe, Sagi mohe, Sagi mohe, Kalana parada, Kalana, Kalana, Kalana parada, Sagi mohe, Sagi mohe. You can get annoyed also. Sagi mohe, Sagi mohe, mohe kalana, kalana parada, Sagi, Sagi mohe, Sagi, Sagi mohe kalana parada, Sagi, Sagi mohe. That doesn't mean that I am getting angry, but I am showing a different emotion. iri dai moe moe gale na para da ga da da para da para da para da kauna kauna bina kauna bina ka juna do hai sagi moe gale na para da iri dagi moe iri dagi moe iri dagi moe iri sagi sagi moe moe gale gale na para kauna bina ka juna so hai sagi mo. So we elaborate and we do lot of dynamics, and you must have seen many performances also, in which you see that how many times there is a sawal jawab also with the percussionist, and then we keep on doing all these things. So then they are very emotional. In this is also vira, the separation. This is Sony. So another composition of Viraha. This is by Mirabai. It was composed by my uncle, Ustad Haywood Dagar. Rag has a very powerful composition also. Nada Jiva Shakti, Nada Jiva Shakti, Nada Paramesha, Nada Kumbhumara Saraswati Panare Brahmera, Jiva Shakti, Nada Jiva Shakti, Nada Paramesha. Tumbuvara Saraswati Panare Bradame no Pradame Prada Pradame 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 Nada 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 So one rag can have many different moods, and many texts can be composed in different talas, and we do the improvisation, and then we meet with the sometimes very softly, very emotional, sometimes with dynamism, very sort of thunderous ways. So this is how we are we do things, and of course everything cannot be covered, and most of it I have tried to cover most of the things. And if you have some questions to ask, you can definitely ask. So if I have missed, I'm telling you that if I have missed, you can put up the question, and whenever we have a conversation, I can clarify a few things. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Welcome to Ragmala, Vasifji.
Namaskar. Yeah.
Namaskar. That was a wonderfully scholarly presentation. It's everything we could ask for in this series. And we've collected a number of good questions that have come to us in so many different ways. I'm personally very happy, and it's my honor to meet you once again on the Ragmala stage after hearing you live perhaps more than a decade ago in Seattle. Would that be right?
Yeah, little more than little more than a decade.
Maybe a decade or two. Right, right. But I'm so grateful on behalf of Ragmala that you made the time and this beautiful uh, studio recording. And I can tell you from our experience with this series that there are a number of live views and repeat views from all around the world. And we are grateful to funding from the NEA, the National Endowment for the Arts, that we've been able to secure some funding from for this series, with the idea that students, teachers, connoisseurs, casual listeners, resics of all varieties and stripes can benefit from understanding a little bit more on how to appreciate the music beyond what meets the face, so to speak. So, unless you had other comments yourself or things you wanted to say that you couldn't say, we could jump into the Q&A directly.
Yeah, we can enter into Q&A because there is always something, uh, when it changes, mood changes with split of a second. So things are in your control, but you are not in control. So I have written a couplet. It's in Urdu.
Ji.
What a control we have with with us. क्या खुदी है बेखुदी के साथ. What a control we have without that control. क्या खुदी है बेखुदी के साथ. बस में मैं हूँ. I am in control. बेबसी के साथ. But still I
वाह,
am not in control.
क्या खुदी है
So
बेखुदी के
बे-
साथ. हाँ,
बस में मैं हूँ बेबसी के साथ.
बेबसी के साथ. वाह वाह वाह.
So this is what is what happens, because it's only few things are composed. Of course, you are a singer yourself. So rest of the things are only our imagination and our inspiration, whatever inspiration we get from from the composition at that moment, because music stands with 5 P's. I don't know if I've, yeah, that's pitch, pulse, pause, and purity and perfection. So
Hanji.
it depends that what pulse rate you are in, and this is why this every time the song sounds or the rag sounds or the mode sounds differently, because your pulse rate is different from what you what you hear at the concert and what you hear at home and what you hear in your car or wherever it is. It's always different. So there's never a repeat of a moment. So this is why we say this is nit naya, ever new. So nobody says that we have seen the sunrise yesterday, I don't want to see it again, or the
Wow, yeah,
sunset.
that's a
So this
wonderful
is why
metaphor.
we,
Hmm.
yeah. So this is what we always say, that the rags are ever new and will be ever new.
Hmm.
What my father has sung in this same rag will be different. What my uncle has sung and what other greats have done it.
Hmm.
So we as a student, we were always getting stunned by the different approach of the different greats and how they have the interpretations to this to particular rag or to particular tal, to particular emotions. They express it in a different way.
Absolutely. I think you hit upon a very good point of our music being as old as the hills and as new as everyday's sunrise. And that's what keeps it interesting as a seeker of the music always. Throughout our life, we're able to do the same, Yaman, which is new every single day in our lives as well. On that subject and several other things that you covered, there are a couple questions where uh, we'd like to hear a little bit more about your thoughts on that. Um, One person, actually, many people really liked the last composition that you sang. They loved the lyrics and the beautiful composition of your guru in Sohni. Could you
Acha.
elaborate a little bit more about Kab Banaya, Kaise Banaya? What are the lyrics, etc. about it?
There was a Mirabai festival in 1993 in France. They had organized a big, huge festival for, and they had asked my uncle also to compose, because I was, after my father's death, I was sitting with my uncle. I used to sing with him. I had paired him with him for last 5 years of his. So he had composed this. So I Pyare. So he had just changed the little bit of the starting point. We as a musicians or as a composers, sometimes we take the liberty to change the first word and get into where we get the emotions. So dancers have done a lot of dance on this, but here he has darshan dene aayo pyare, tum bin raha na jayo. Please come and please please give your darshan. Please, I want to see you in a in manifestation. I would like to see you in whole as darshan dene aayo pyare, tum bin raha na jayo. When the Andhra says, where he had elaborated just this little one for I don't know, he used to sing for 50 minutes only for darshan dene ayo pyare ayo pyare. He would go on, and I have a wonderful memory of this. And as a student, as his son, because he was my big father, so I'm his son, because he was not so he was just used to say that I had so we have not seen the musical note, we say. So we have not seen the musical note. So we have we seen the spoken word?
Hmm.
No, we have not seen the spoken word also.
Hmm.
So that gives us a beautiful imagination to look into. We have our own view, own vision, and own perception. It's just like a prism. Every word. is like a prism. Now I'm saying every word, but I was always talking about the musical note.
Hmm.
It's just like the prism from where you are throwing the light into that, and what colors are you getting from that.
Right.
So this is my way of saying. So this is like I'll just pull in. I hope it's not disturbing. This Tanpura is not much disturbing you
No,
people.
it's a perfect balance.
So reaching out to how many ways we can reach out to that. The silent is also music. The sound, the pause between the two notes is also music. Dare se de jo आए प्यारे दर्शन दे जो आए प्यारे तुम्हें देना तेरे से मेरा आए प्यारे तेरा सनदीरा जल बिना कमल चंद्र बिन रजनी जल बिन कमल चंद्र बिन रजनी ऐसे तो मैं देखा बिन सजनी आकुल व्याकुल फेरो रन दिन वीर हागले खाए आए प्यारे my uncle was so much attached to my father, so much attached to, because after his 4 years of passing away, he still used to call me. I resemble a lot to my father, was to resemble a lot to my father. So he would call me Fayasa. Okay, you do, please bring that one, Fayasa, something like that. So at the green room at Theatre de Dhrupad, this was at Champs Elysees. There was a concert, huge festival. So in the green room, we had a big crying session. My uncle was crying before entering onto the stage. He was remembering my father so much so, and so it was a very emotional time we had, and it was because and people, whoever was there, these the French and French people, they have the full staff who just takes care of this. In 5 minutes, you have to be there. 2 minutes. They were also stunned by this in the green room, and some of them, they did not know. Means they forgot to tell us that you get up and move and something like that. So it was nice emotional time what we had there.
That's
So this was,
wonderful.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. So that leads me to the question that some folks have asked actually. as to what is it like to do music within the family, and that too for generations on end. The reason being that in our present times, um, for various reasons, geographically we are separated from our gurus. Um, they're also busy traveling and performing. Gurukul Vas jo tha, that
Yeah.
pace of life has changed. With all the best intentions on both sides, ho nahi pata hai. So please tell us a little bit more about how
So
your
you see,
family
the
culture of
Gurukul,
music made your music this way.
Gurukul, or the gharana, or the big house of a gharana. So it, because when you don't have your lesson, even then you have a lesson. This is the difference. So this is the biggest gift to be in surrounding, because some many times your problem doesn't solve when you are getting the class one to one. So for that also, sometimes we have all got the scolding. These days we are not scolding anyone the way we have got.
You cannot afford
they
to.
they 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 get, if we ask few things, so they get annoyed that why are you. But they would ask you, call you anytime, anyhow, anywhere. So we had to be alert with our gurus, because our uncles or our father would turn into guru, and it's not no more the same father son's relation, or father nephew and uncle's relation, or whatever. It's no more that. So when you don't have a lesson, when you don't have a music, means your problem gets solved elsewhere also. So this is why when we don't have a lesson, so we still have a lesson, because we are listening to someone, because it's so much in the walls, and so much happening. They are teaching someone else something else and something, so you get your reply where you're not supposed to get reply.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
sometime, yeah. So this is why this gurukul, or gharanedar, big house of gharana, is so much important, because you live music, you live through it, you live for it, and you see how, because it's gurumukh vidya. You see your guru, how is he doing things. So we
Hmm.
have, if I may contradict myself again. So we have seen some of the musical note in our gurus,
Hmm.
or the strike of a tanpura.
Hmm.
So that remains every time, that that pancham I got, Todi's pancham I got from the pancham of the tanpura, when I the, when
Hmm.
I had struck that. And then, because I was not getting hold of Komal Gandhar of Todi.
Hmm.
So and Komal Gandhar of Miyaki Todi is very low, and Tivra Madhyam is very high.
Hi.
So
Hmm.
I was repeating, and he was saying, beta, beta, it's low, it's lower, beta, it's thoda niche hai, beta, thoda niche hai, beta, thoda niche hai. ऐसा हो रहा था. तो वो कभी कभार, sometimes you feel that your guru is not listening, because I was right, because I knew that my Komal Gandhar is fine, but because it's because of the microtonal, or the nuances of Shruti, it was
Hmm.
lower than normal Komal Gandhar.
Hmm.
So this is why I was not saying singing that, and he was saying beta low. So we feel it had come in my mind that he's not able to listen. What am I singing?
Hmm.
Something like that. But then it was after getting hold of the Komal Gandhar, then I came to the Komal Tivra Madhyam. Tivra Madhyam was higher again. It was.
Right.
So I brought, because you were saying बेटा और ऊपर, बेटा और ऊपर, और इस तरीके, और ऊपर बेटा, और ऊपर, ऐसे करते
So
करते
the
ना, I
Darja.
brought
Huh.
my hand at that that level, that I may get it, because he was bringing his hand up to that position. So thought that I will get it like that. But
Wonderful.
sometimes you don't get the reply, and
Hmm.
you don't get it. So this is why, means if you are in surrounding, if you are there, So it remains with you. So you are all, it's a for modern world, I would say that people would say that it's too heavy to be always, surrounded by so much of music and all this thing, but you need little outing and all. But that was not the case with us, because we only have these few things to work with.
Hmm.
And when I was learning, but when I have ever since I have started my own music and own things, the world has really totally changed from 90s
Changed
onward.
on you.
It is
Hmm.
totally different world what it was. It
So, in
really.
fact, I find that for all who argue that it's kind of heavy to live in your school, so to speak, your gharana, your home is your school. I do believe that a lot of things come through by osmosis. You are there, the notes are in the air, the rags are in the air, and you absorb it without having to make that big an effort, because you're always in the flow of the music. Which brings me to the question of how in Dhrupad training are you taught the darja of swar, the various shrutis? Because um, Dhrupad subscribes to a very pure Shruti oriented music. You never have a fixed key instrument such as a harmonium on the side. Your Tanpuras give you the complete curtain of sound that every Shruti you sing harmonizes with. Are you
Yeah.
taught the darja this way, thoda upar, thoda niche, or is it part of the phrase of the rag? कैसे सिखाया जाता है?
It first it is we get into the phrases of rag. More than that, we are given the lesson. I give one-to-one lessons to my students, and I repeat. If you stop or you correct the student so much many times, so then they get too much, sensitive towards that thing. So I don't. My uncle also was not, stopping at that moment. And then it was when it was really going haywire, so then at that time we have to stop and all. So yeah, so we give one-to-one lessons so that they can grasp it practically. Because if you explain them from the beginning that this is that position, this is that position, so the mind is occupied with that,
Hmm.
and they are more into the name of the technique,
Hmm.
on the potency. I would say potency only. I would, instead of frequency, like in homeopathic, they have the potencies of
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
medicines
Hmm.
what you get. So,
Hmm.
so what medicine, with what potency you make it enter into their body,
Huh.
in their brain. So this is how we do it very slowly, because music, because it's just like a tide,
Hmm.
or the wave, or
Hmm.
the tide means, the tide never comes alone. It always brings something from the ocean. Maybe
Right.
they bring the dirt, or
Hmm.
trash, or sometimes they bring certain. Most of the time they give about beautiful things. So
Pearls.
your mind is working, like you getting things from the ocean, and it never comes alone. It
Hmm.
always brings something. It depends on the size of the tide, what you
Hmm.
are, what you have, you get. So this is we give the, first, it's the loading. If you are a kid, so it's like, the hard disk is empty and you are programming it.
Hmm.
So first it's more like the programming, and then then it is polished. Then again, after some years, then we get back to the same rags, and then we furthermore explain that how you can go about in this rag. So Gurura Brahma, Gurura Vishnu, or the Gayatri mantra, he been in our schools here.
Hmm.
So we've been learn we are being taught at the school. We don't know what is it, but we get
Hmm.
to know it after many years, that what were we repeating.
Hmm.
So things are being taught to learn it by heart, and then when you are able to understand those things, so then your view is totally changed. Your drishtikon means view to the name same rag or same note is much different than what you had learned when for the first time.
Right. And this brings us to a question that I'm asked often, even in Khyal, because Khyal is also quite a few hundred years old, much younger than Dhrupad, but it's also a living tradition. And so let me ask you this. Um, in all traditional art forms, the foundation, the talim, the Gharanas foundation, in by way of compositions, ragas, raga structures, are first laid meticulously with the student. You're not ready to improvise without knowing the rules of the game. So, at what point in Dhrupad, um, Upaj, with a rag, your own thinking, or even the laikari that you did with the composition, at what point do you start exploring those things?
Actually, first, of course, lekari is a fixed thing, and upaj is something different. But you when we it's just like first of course you have to teach that from this matra you have to start and get into that. From five you start from the second tali of the chautal, so you hear you can have then you can fix up these from
Hmm.
this. So we in the Dagar family we don't go for tihais and all, because tihais have gone so much that we say it's duhai ho gayi hai, itni tihai ho gayi hai. So so we are so that because these days we have less time also. One, honestly, we are not given 3 hours 2 hours for our performances here. So we are in 40 minutes and 60 minutes, or maximum 90 minutes, you have to do so many things. And so we but but you're talking about how you are teaching. So we teach them the emotion, we explain them the text of the poetry also. And then it depends that what how so silence also leads you to to it also suggests something. So we are taught that within the given frame, within the given time, how many words, how many notes you can produce. So it depends that, because to explain it to many people, that we have a set target from our if we are walking to our school in the morning or to our office, so we have the set target that we have to we reach in this given time. But when we are walking, we see so many lanes and by lanes, and that's very attractive. So we enter, sometime we enter and we go. So sometimes we get into sort of very confusing path. So but we have to reach on time at the school. So then we go fast, or we make many different jumps and highs and
Mhm.
on, and then we reach on time to the
Hmm.
sum. That is the sum, reaching on
Hmm.
to the sum.
Hmm.
Sometimes we go much further, and then we have ample time. And
Hmm.
then what we do, that we give a very leisurely
Ahmed. Hmm.
walk, and then we come to the sum. with it.
Yes.
But in Drupad, we as my forefathers have always said that you you feel that your sum is very far. You should always, if you are in hurry, so sum comes very much earlier. If you have patience, so just think, बेटा सम को हमेशा दूर समझो, आराम
हाँ,
से आएगा.
सही बात
और
है.
अगर जल्दी सोचोगे, if you think that it should be sooner, so it will come sooner, because your your pulse will react to your thinking.
Hmm.
So this
Yes.
is this is how, yeah. So
Very
because
nice. Very
it
nice.
all depends on the pulse. So
Hmm.
the pulse rate changes and all. So
Hmm.
when you have anxieties and all, so then it's different from what you
How,
have.
what is the role of Pakhawaj both in your training and in your performance? Because I will tell you, this question comes from the point of a Khyal teacher who has grown up being told, "Table ke saath baitho, table ke saath riyaz karo." When I was a little child, I was learning Carnatic music. I grew up in South India. And very much like Dhrupad, we were taught to put the tal matras on our hand and sing the same composition in Dugun, Chogun, Tishra. And so the
Hmm.
tal was in our control. We didn't quite rely on the mridangam to give us. Uh, and I see between the ancient forms of Dhrupad and Carnatic music, there is a lot of commonality, both the inspiration from the Veena and the Gamaks. We would talk about the Dashavidhi Gamakam, a number of them similar to what you spoke about. So I think I'm asking many questions here in one go, but really let's start with the role of Pakhawaj, both in your
The
training
role
and
of role
performance.
of Pakhawaj is like what you have already given the reply. Thank you. So,
Sorry, role exchange
so
हो गया.
yeah, yeah, because it's accompanying instrument, and accompanying instrument is accompanying instrument. With lot of I have this because in lot of when you are learning from, because these accompanists are seniors, when you are learning from your guru, and you are left on with these accompanists. And
Hmm.
please, whoever is the accompanist, please don't mind, huh? But these people, they don't let your imagination grow, because from harmonium already they get into that note. No, you have to bring it like that, but I want to come in a different way.
Hmm.
But if they means, they just so much that when the thin will come, then you start to make your sum, or means they give the position, what they set up your positions.
Hmm.
So this is why it's not very securing to learn with different. We try to learn the harmony from your own self, and then you do it. I'm not for harmonium at all, but of course, one cannot play the sarangi, but they don't let your imagination grow. These accompanying gurus, they are also, you are always calling panditji, is it right, is it not, or is it fine, it is all right. So these, the after your guru, these other panditjis are also their guides, some in some way. So they are giving their interpretations after your gurus, of course, means what they
Mhm.
have got from the senior musicians. But they are giving their own interpretation. They are loading those things to this the young student.
Hmm.
So this is why uh, we depend so much on Tanpura, because Tanpura is a mirror of your image, a
Hmm.
mirror of your voice.
Hmm.
How you take in front of your face in front of the mirror, it reflects back the same. So if you sing in a tune Tanpura, so it will be beautiful for you. And if you don't sing in tune with the Tanpura, so it shows your face that what are you doing.
Hmm.
So that's very much important, because tuning of Tanpura is not just tuning of the instrument, it's tuning of your soul. You're tuning your tuners. So that's very very important. because of
Hmm.
course your ears are also getting sensitive.
Hmm.
But now again, the thing is that it is so dominant, the mind is so dominant, the brain
Hmm.
is so dominant. So then the brain, what are we doing for the brain or for the heart? Many people say that our music is for heart and other music is for the brain, but I can't separate both of them, honestly.
Hmm.
It's very difficult, and when people just say it's only for the Hindustani music is only for heart and all, and other
It's the
music
head
is
and the
for,
heart. Both are
but
engaged.
it's yeah. So there is another very important thing which is moving around us, that is the soul. It
Hmm.
should not be mind blowing performance, it should be soul touching performance.
Hmm.
When they say oh mind blowing, when the mind blows, what happens? it should it should be soul touching performance. So it's we have to we have to know this. So we have to teach them how to tune the tanpuras. Of course,
Hmm.
these electronic tanpuras are doing good things. Okay, it's a temporary thing. But if you want to become a proper musician, you want to get into a professional ways, so please have your own tanpura and try to have a good tanpura. And it's difficult to tune tanpura, of course it takes a lot of time, so but it's helping somewhere to you in a longer terms. Why you think that you're wasting your 15 minutes or 20 minutes or half an hour in just tuning the tanpura? Because for tuning the tanpura, many minutes you are not able to understand if it is tuned or if it is not tuned. So it increase your sensitivity and sensibility.
Yes, absolutely. I
So
think tuning the tanpura increases your musical
yeah,
intelligence.
yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's very very important. My uncle used to say, listening to tanpura, it makes you intelligent. So you have again said the same thing. So my uncle used to say this, that it increases your intelligence in music. So you have to you have to listen. You have to give something to your, because tuning from your hand also, it's also it is entering, if you
Yes.
want to say. So
Yes.
it enters, because rag is not just limited to ascending and descending order.
Ha. Ha. Ha.
Rag is not just ascending and descending order. There is much more to the rag. So we are all blessed with the full set, and we are so similar yet so different.
Hmm.
We have all got the same body, and everybody is different and yet so similar yet so different. So every rag has its, apart from the structure, how we think is also our identity.
Yes.
How we do things is also our identity. So so then, of course, this is the Vadi and Samvadi notes. The thing what you like to do most, you do it more often, and then you like to do it differently, much differently, many different ways you want to do, and you do it. Then also that another thing, after all these things, we all have an aura. So Rag also has aura. But sometimes it's so difficult to get out of some rags, because they have very strong aura. Once you get into, you have to really put your efforts to come out of that rag.
Hmm.
So like people say that that uh, uh, dhyan, it's just keep distance. When you really get into dhyan, and when you really get into so much of a practice of whatever you want to do,
Hmm.
so you it creates the aura. So when you have a stronger aura, so people are also away from, I'm talking about the human being, I'm not talking about the rag right now.
Rag. Ha.
So then for human being, everybody starts to keep distance from that person, because his aura increases, and because of his dhyan, because of his practice, because of his ways, it increases. So then people start to keep distance from that person.
Hmm.
It's not that he wants to keep or she wants to keep people away. It happens automatically because of its their practice and their work. So all the rag has the structure, liking, disliking, vadi, samvadi. Then there are some things what we don't do. We can do something. So the rag also has something different. The rag cannot be interpreted only in one mood.
One mode, one way. Hmm.
It can be interpreted in many different ways.
So
So
what? Sorry to interrupt
no,
you.
no, no. I talk a lot. So you have a.
So even 100 years ago, when our gurus, even within the Khyal realm, used to start studying the music, they would learn a number of Dhrupad Dhamas. That was always an introduction, आवाज की तैयारी के लिए, गमक के लिए, all of that. That was a rigorous foundation on which all Khyal was built, and that's how they took their Khyal forward. Now this has changed a bit. I don't see that being always the case. So, do you have any advice, thoughts for people outside of Drupad, um, in terms
You,
of?
you, yeah, outside of Drupad, of course, you people have to keep your identity. Of course, you have to trust in Guru. Guru is the medium from where you are getting things.
Hmm,
Guru, the teacher. I'm now for America, I would just say, yeah, or for the world, Guru, the teacher.
hmm,
He, but the Guru is in Indian ways, Indian Guru's ways. Indian means the Guru never completes the curriculum.
hmm,
The teacher is given the syllabus and he has to complete the curriculum, whatever he is given. I respect teachers also, but the guru is the one who gives you the key to your locks and blocks.
hmm,
He makes you a medium to get hold of the things.
hmm,
And on that passage, you are advised. You are given classes, you are given the lessons and advice lot many times. But then you make your things own, when you are able to. So guru is the one who, मतलब हिंदी में बोलूं, गुरु रूह को पहचानता है. He
hmm,
understands the soul of the
hmm,
person,
hmm,
the student, and he will give whatever this, through which he can or she can get hold of other things. First he will get hold of those that thing what he is good in, and then we will get into the rough part also. We should not start from the rough part, so then it doesn't always give a good experience to students. So first we give them the happiness, because, but it happens on with every subject. Honestly,
hmm,
whoever is doing engineering in physics or chemistry or doctor, means biology or whatever,
hmm.
in the middle of their session they have cursed their subject. Why have they selected this subject? Yeah,
Huh,
into third years or fourth year, they always say, "Arey, wow, how did I get attracted to this subject?" So it
hmm,
happens every subject. It's very normal that हमको भी बड़ा वो लगता था, अरे यार हर वक्त ही डांट पड़ती रहती है, गुस्सा आता रहता है, रियाज होता
hmm,
रहता है. How long can we sit at one place? But that teaches you a lot. You
hmm,
have to give a time. I always say
hmm.
like that. समय को भी समय देना पड़ता है. You
सही
have
बात.
to give time to
हाँ,
time, to get
हाँ.
a beautiful time. You
Beautiful
have to give this
outcome.
time. So this is what I want to say. Advise that you trust. You have a good trust in yourself, and because you don't, what happens that what how you do the riyaz. Riyaz is not just the mere rehearsal, because some people they just practice like how are they going to perform in their performance. But but riyaz is to improve the musicalities. So you have to increase your musicalities, you have to improve your musicalities. What is not good, you have to practice that more in your riyaz. What you are good in, of course you are good in.
Hmm,
So this is why you have gone into this musical form. But what you are not good in, you have to improve that. and you do.
Absolutely. Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you're
There's
not
a lot
doing.
of confusion sometimes for students between rehearsal and riyaz. And well, that's another discussion for another day entirely. And I hope the gurus are guiding them properly कि आप जो कर रहे हैं वो rehearsal है. It's not riyaz. जिसमें खोज नहीं है.
This is,
उसमें.
I don't know.
हाँ.
Can you see this? Yeah, so this is from here. I don't know.
Hmm.
Can you? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So from it's the same text. Huh? So repeated text can give you the different dimensions.
Yes, I see the optical illusion.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is 3D.
Hmm.
What people feel that we are repeating the same thing. Yeah,
Hmm.
but we are not. We are every because we cannot take the same breath again.
Hmm.
Can you see this?
Yes, yes.
So
And
this
I
is
think
this
the
is
viewers can
improvisation.
see.
This
Yeah.
is improvisation. This is why where people feel that classical में एक ही चीज repeat करें. We are not repeating the same thing.
Hmm.
By repeating thing, we are creating the 3D effects, and that touches somewhere it touches, somewhere it doesn't touches, but it gives you from how the audience is seeing it, it's different, and how the performer is singing, it's different.
Hmm.
But this is the same text.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
what again and again I always ask many people that what do we do? What is the biggest sort of prayer to achieve something?
Hmm.
Of course, every religion has their different ways of doing. Shravana
Hmm.
bhakti hai ya namaz hai, kya hai,
Hmm.
pata nahi kya, chalo. But biggest thing is to when you want to achieve something, you do the parikrama.
Hmm.
You go around that thing. You repeat, and you go around and go around how many times
Hmm.
to that particular mandir or to particular sort of thing what you
Hmm.
want to. So we are doing the parikrama of the rag
In areas, yes.
in
Hmm.
our riyas. We are doing parikrama. So it is, you see. So I don't know how much you can see. So
Yes.
every time it's different.
Yes.
So it moves. We get moved. It moves.
Yes.
So we are doing the
Beautiful.
parikrama. We go round and round and round and round and round to achieve something. So this is very very important. So we every time we are increasing our span, our 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 knowledge. So this is why we go and round and round. Ni re ga re ni re za, ni re ga re ni re za, ni re ga ma re ni za ni ra ba re ga re za, ni re ga ma re ni za ni ra ba re ga re za. You have a pen with you. Ni re ga ma re ni za ni ra ba re ga re za, ni re ga ma re ni sa ni ra ba re ga re za, sa ni ra ni ra ba. Ma re ni sa ni ra ba re ga re za, ni re ga ma re ni sa ni ra ba re ga re, ni re ga ma re ni sa ni ra ba re ga re za. तो तो फिर उसके अंदर फिर और नी 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 रे 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 ग ग ग मा मा रे 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 नी 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 ता ता नी 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 रे 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 ग ग ग मा मा रे 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 नी 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 ता नी रे रे नी 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 रे 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 ग ग ग मा मा रे 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 नी 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 ता नी रे रे नी 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 रे 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 ग ग ग मा मा रे. Within one breath, how many times you can repeat?
Right. Right.
So you have
Good.
to give. Nobody takes challenges from with anyone. Nobody takes challenge. You take challenge within you with you only. Nobody takes challenge for others. They are taking challenge for themselves.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
give
Hmm.
a challenge to yourself.
Hmm.
Give increase increase the load,
Hmm.
and then do achieve things. It will not happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. It has
That's
to.
wonderful advice. And when people say give the time, it's also giving
So
the
I don't
time to
know.
this guided process. We're able to see your notebook. Yes, the back of it.
Yeah, this is the notebook. So this I This is not the best of the position to sing to do this, but I would try to do something. Now pen is not supporting me much, but
Hmm.
no, it's not helping me. But you see, this is
I think we
yeah,
got the idea. Yeah,
yeah.
idea.
So you see that.
Hmm. Vistad.
So yeah, yeah. So you have means you every, because it's coming like the tide, the waves, how the waves are are coming, and how
Hmm. Hmm.
it चले आते हैं दिल में अरमान लाखों, चले आते हैं दिल में अरमान लाखों,
Malakho.
मकाम भर गया मेहमान आते आते. दिल में तो, in your heart, everything, desires are coming and it has filled your heart.
Hmm.
चले आते हैं दिल में, दिल is your house,
Hmm.
चले आते हैं दिल में अरमान लाखों,
Hmm.
मकाम भर गया मेहमान आते आते. So, but a contradiction is also here when she घबराता हूँ देखकर दिल बे आरज़ू को मैं, घबराता हूँ देखकर दिल बे आरज़ू को मैं, सुनसान घर क्यों ना हो मेहमान तो गया. You have to, so it's very important to have the desires.
Yes. Yes.
It's very important.
And on
So
this,
then, yeah, then only things will start to move. Then only it will happen.
absolutely. Could you tell us a little bit about, and I could have a cup of tea and have an equal conversation after this, but in the interest of time and people posting questions, how has the veena, the tradition of playing the bean, come into Dhrupad vocalism? And Ajkal, whether people learn the bean or not, it's very much a part of your singing and the way you view the swar. So, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Our body is called Gatrivena.
क्या बात है? हाँ.
Our body is called Gatrivena. The 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 body created by God.
Hmm.
So this is an instrument, and this instrument is instrumental in making all the instrument. Our body is instrumental in making all the instrument, whatever you see. Now we have a say in the nature also. But apart from whatever you see in the nature is human creation. So Veena is the oldest string instrument, and we, but it's the singers are not doing the jod and jhala. That's absolutely wrong, and please remove that out of your. If you are singing, you are not singing jhala. You are not singing jod. It's only for the instrument to do the jod and jhala. So we have the vilambe, madhile, or the fast one, drut. So we madhila is like the vedang,
Hmm.
how we do the chanting of Ved.
Hmm.
So the Vedas chanting are also done in a na, 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 so I cannot say I'm a perfect person for this, but for this type of chantings, most of these ragas which has lesser note, like 5 notes rag, so it's very suitable
Hmm.
for these type of these chantings.
Hmm.
Yaman has more notes and Bhairav has more notes. So you will see that the Bairagi, in Bairagi also so much of these type of chantings
हाँ
are
जी.
done.
हाँ.
Or Malkos is also
Hmm.
good for us. I feel that the Dagar is like love to do the chantings in the
Hmm.
because Vedang, you are repeating the Ved. So for Ved was difficult for from the ancient time. So what they had given the rhythm to it. So this is why they were loaded. Again, these children were loaded because they were given the notes, and then they understood what way they remembered what they have concussed, what they have memorized. So then they got to nurture it furthermore, and then they went into explanation. So it is Vedang. The Madhyalaya is not Jod, it's Vedang.
Hmm.
Ab- because Veena is copying the body.
Hmm.
We are not copying the Veena.
Hmm.
So the first instrument is being copied by others.
Hmm.
So we are not copying Veena. Veena has copied because they, and especially the Dagar's Veena,
Hmm.
is much closer to the human, breath,
Hmm.
closer to human breath. But other Veena, they have with amplification, of course, they have increased the means its capacity.
Hmm.
But the older Veena, which what used to be kept on the shoulder,
Hmm.
like Asad Ali Khan Saab or Hindraj Devikarji
Hmm.
and all these people,
Hmm.
they had to keep it on the shoulder, and it was
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
My uncle Sazia Muhyiddin Dagar, now my cousin Bahauddin,
Hmm.
and many of his students, they have taken the posture from the South Indian Veena,
Hmm.
and that and they had increased the size of the Veena to get
Hmm.
to get little more resonance and larger breadth.
Deeper
And he has
sing.
also, yeah, and also the string gauge are thicker than that other Veena.
I see. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So he used to tell me that, oh, if you can take my kharaj, I'm talking about Zia Muhyiddin Dagar Sahab. You say take my last string, and you can hang your, after washing, you can hang your pants on it. So
हाँ.
he used to say that.
Hmm.
So this is so it is much closer to human body has created that. So of
एब्सोल्युटली. तो
course,
हम अपनी
yeah.
शक्ल में हमने साज बनाया और फिर
जी,
साज
जी,
को.
बिल्कुल.
हाँ.
मैंने for instrument also I said that all the accompanying percussion instruments are closer to, just to give little logic to think that gamak or tan जो है,
Hmm.
they are the reflection of the percussion variation.
Hmm.
This what people have seen.
Hmm.
They can relate that to the sound. If they have heard these type of sounds, then of course they relate that nowadays they have, I don't know what do they say, they are making the sound like what from their mouth. But
Hmm.
our old ways, that this is what they are, like the sound of. Now with the nasal only, nasals. नासिका निर नासिका निर जाएगा नासिका I'm just giving the different ragas, different glimpses of different ragas, so that this is why. This is Shruti.
Hmm.
No, 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 like the bells. No, 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 no. अब वो सितार वाले है वो उसी उसको उसी तरीके से बजाते हैं अब डमरू की भी आवाज के लिए मैं बात करता ही हूँ it's very difficult to to play damru. You
Hmm.
really have you need to have a good wrist, otherwise the
Yes.
sound doesn't come.
Huh.
Now is a different. So, what does music have? Okay, the most gifted is human being, and in human being also we are two, male and female. So you need the power of male and grace of female. That doesn't mean that female doesn't have a power and male doesn't have a grace. To have a complete music, you have to bring both the things together. Then only you can have a good music. You need the power also and the grace also. Then only it becomes a good music. I
पुरुष
would
प्रकृति हाँ.
still yeah. दोनों स्त्री और पुरुष का दोनों का ही खूब
Hmm.
अच्छा समावेश होता है.
Hmm.
तो तो स्वर की जो है ना वो तासीर में एक अलग वो आ जाती है.
Hmm. Hmm.
रे रा ये अनहद नाद है.
Hmm.
ये अनहद नाद है जो आपके मन में हृदय में जागा. रे दूसरा आया
हाँ.
स्वर वो तो नहीं आया.
हाँ. Both the Pancham and the Shadaj were
या
unheard, suggested in my head.
अब कौन सा आया.
Ya Rama.
अब कैसे. so so music is more than music.
Yes, yes.
Silence is also music. One has to know how to listen to silence.
Hmm.
Because silence is majestic. It is suggestive.
Yes. I think that is my biggest takeaway from this is to understand the power of the Anahad Nad and the power of suggestion. Because we're
And
always
now,
in the
when you
business
are with
of
the
doing,
accompanying,
producing.
when you are with the accompanying instrument, so of course he has to complete only after you.
Right.
Yeah. So he understands only after. Hello, can you hear? Yeah. Can you
Yes,
hear?
we do
Yeah.
hear you. Yes.
So he or she can only complete the thing only after you have completed.
Right.
So when you sit with your tanpura, try to achieve that, so that it will be very good for you. So then you will see the movement of the node. What is the oscillation? More than the oscillation one comes. So it is the swing. Swing doesn't stop abruptly. It doesn't stop like that. It takes its own time. And every node has a capacity of an ocean.
Hmm.
It has a depth of an ocean. So sound is vibration. Musical note is vibration. How
Yeah.
how you have to deal with the vibration. If it is very narrow vibration, also the vibration will be vibration. Like booms, like a drop. The perfect mass of water is a dew.
Yes.
Dew in the ocean and ocean in the dew. You see nothing in the ocean, you see everything in the dew.
Hmm.
And at time you don't see anything in the dew. Dew is a perfect mass of water. It's a perfect. It's shaking.
Yeah.
The
Hmm.
same note can suggest it wants to go down, same note suggested it wants to go up. This is the capacity of these notes. How we are doing with our shrutis.
Right. It's we're all amazed, and I'm not doing I'm not doing my job of comparing at all because it's not very much needed. We've traveled the world with you, Saji, from the origins of Dhrupad to how to think about music at all, how to use the body, where instruments come in, uh, where we get our Madhyalaya from, the different aspects of the human instrument. And I think you've answered many questions that were not even asked in the sense of how Dhrupad can be a consummate foundation and a guiding channel for many of us who do many different genres of Indian music because we're rooted here. We could easily have several more sittings of a similar workshop, but that is best done in person. And I personally wholeheartedly believe that we will meet in person and have a way for you to connect with students and audiences here as well.
Sure, sure.
I want to thank you for the head and heart and the quality of involvement that you brought to Ragmala in just these past few hours, and how, consummate scholarship mingles with your humility and your wonderful sense of expression. Um, you reached anybody at any stage of their म्यूजिकल सीकिंग. हम आपके आभारी हैं. एंड काश कि हमारे पास और बहुत कुछ समय होता.
Yeah, because this is it leads you to timelessness.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is the most beautiful time? Again, again, I come back to whatever I like to give these like these type of examples with what people can, they have seen it themselves, and they can visualize some of the examples. So this is why I like to give these type of this visuals and all this thing sometime. So what is the most beautiful time? Of course, I will not give a visual of that.
सबके लिए अपना.
Okay. So
The
most beautiful time is that time when you don't think of time.
hmm,
That time can take you to a moment. Time is measurable, but moment is not.
yes, when you're
So
in the
what?
flow and not
Yeah,
intellectualizing about the time at all, that
you when you
surrender.
forget about the time, when you forget
Yes.
about the time, and the beauty of that time, at least it leaves such a beautiful mark on your soul. And then you are always comparing that moment, that time, with your coming time.
Yes.
So this is it.
Yeah, you have left a beautiful mark on our soul. And I want to thank Yogesh Ratnaparkhi on the Ragmala board for enabling this beautiful session that will go out to the entire world. Want to thank NEA for supporting us, and for all of you that are viewing or might repeat view this. Um, Tune in to ragamala.org for upcoming programs. I won't go into the details because some of them are being firmed up as we speak. We have a membership open, and that's another great way for you to support our activities. Our organization is completely volunteer run, all of us. And so anything you can do to support and keep us going is always welcome. Indian music is sacred, beautiful, secular, ancient, current, ever moving like a fast river, a living tradition. So show us your support and we
And
shall
add
keep.
contemporary also. Just add
Yes,
that also.
contemporary also. So thank you so much, Vasifji, and thank you to all our viewers and listeners. Please send us your comments, and we'll keep watching both our Facebook and YouTube channels for your comments on our program. Thank you so much.